All right. Tyler, thank you. Or Lexi, I'm not sure. You can let me know what your preferred name that you'd like to be called. I wasn't sure. I'm finally getting this out to you. Sorry it took a while. This was a crazy week, but to be honest, my recorded messages sometimes take longer because I need to find the time and energy for the space. I'm actually dog sitting, so this is good. They have a nice setup. I have a lot of antiques in my house, and so a lot of times I don't always have the space. My table is a little cluttered. And I prefer to do them at the shop, but the shop, I was so busy at the shop, I didn't have time to record it. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm shuffling, and then you didn't give me a specific topic, which is fine. So we're just going to do the Celtic, which is what I think that you wanted to do. And we will begin. I'm going to cut one more shuffle. And I'm going to cut the deck for you. I'm going to lay out the cards. I apologize that it's not ideal. The setting is not ideal. But I'm going to show you the cards as I pull them, or as I go over them, so you can kind of see what I'm seeing. And then we'll kind of discuss from there. And so I'll get into your energy here and see what we have. Also, I'm going to take a minute to put on my readers because old age is a real thing, unfortunately. And then we will get started because I know that you're anxious about this reading to see what's going on. And I get it because readings can be anxiety inducing anyways. So I get it. Okay. So, current situation. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. I'm using the Nightmare Before Christmas deck. So it's going to be a little different. This swords are going to be needles. But needless to say, we have the Queen of Swords in your current situation, and she's being crossed by the Ace of Cups. So there's a couple different things that come to mind here. First of all, the Queen of Swords in reverse. She sometimes is not speaking her truth. She sometimes is swallowing what she wants to say. She sometimes, and I feel like this is you in this reading, you're being represented by the Queen of Swords. Again, Queen of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, but it doesn't matter. The Queen of Swords reversed is having trouble speaking her truth and having trouble being open and honest. Maybe with herself, maybe with others. Maybe there's conflicting, conflicting. 1 minute I feel like this, 1 minute I feel like that. I'm really confused. I'm not sure. It's a little bit of back and forth. It's a little bit of, just, maybe not even knowing how you feel. And then, so if you don't know how you feel, then it's hard to know what to say. That's the vibe I'm getting from the Queen of Swords reversed. Sometimes she's had to cut out people. Sometimes there is a need to really kind of set boundaries and figure out who you want in your life, who you don't want in your life. What do you want in your life? What you don't want in your life. And I say that also because what's crossing you is the Ace of Potions or the Ace of Cups in reverse. And a lot of times the Ace of Cups in reverse can be feeling emotionally depleted, feeling, a lot of depression, anxiety, sadness, shame, guilt, regret, and needing that, sometimes that when we look at the Queen of Swords in reverse, she's feeling maybe some pain and sorrow. Maybe she's trying to heal from wounds. And that's kind of what it feels like. Like she's trying, sometimes she has to cut people out in order to not, in order to heal. And then when we have this crossing it, the Ace of Cups is, sometimes it's brand new beginning in love and, new relationships. But a lot of times it is difficulties in current relationships or realizing there's difficulties in some of your past relationships, and so you're trying to heal from that. Sometimes the Ace of Cups in reverse can be about focusing on your own healing and your own joy in your own life and, your own feelings and all of that. But sometimes it's also kind of a false start where, this sometimes the Queen of Swords in reverse can feel a little bit guarded. Sometimes she can feel a little bit apprehensive or bitter or angsty, and she doesn't know where to put, she doesn't know where to put that. These two cards together reversed are just, there's a need for healing. There's a need to be open and honest with yourself first, and then try to figure out where you are. You might be going back and forth, and you might not know what that is quite yet. It might be hard for you to be open and honest with others or set boundaries with others when you're not doing it for yourself. And that's why I think this Ace of Cups is reversed. There's a potential for new love with the Ace of Cups, but are you ready for that? I feel like the Queen of Swords in reverse is a bit guarded. So let's go around and see what else we have. In your headspace, we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. And again, it goes back to what I'm saying. Nine of Cups is the card of joy, happiness, success. It's Piscean energy. And a lot of times when this card is reversed, it's just, it's knowing that happiness is an inside job. I want to share my happiness. I want to share my joy and success. But right now, I'm trying to realize that joy and success myself. Because it's coming up at the headspace, it's definitely something that's on your mind. But it's another kind of, signal to me that, mental health is definitely, a priority or something that you are thinking heavily about. Love that's gone wrong or love that's missing. Because again, this Nine of Cups is like, well, you have to fill up your own cups before you can give them to other people, before you can share that with others. And it's, again, it's a Nine of Cups is a little bit of a hope or wish fulfillment card. When it's in the headspace reversed, sometimes it's like, even though we think we know it's going to make us happy, sometimes we don't. And that's what this feels like. And we go down to the foundation of the spread. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So not only we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, now we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. And he's in your foundation, where again, it's like, have you been not being honest with yourself? Have you tried to, I don't want to say fake it till you make it. That's not exactly it, but I really feel like this Knight of Swords in reverse can feel, like he's missing the mark, like people aren't understanding what he's saying. It's like talking in a vacuum, like saying things, but people aren't exactly getting it and they're not listening. I also feel the Knight of Swords reverse could be somebody else's energy also. It doesn't necessarily, the Knight of Swords doesn't, you're more the Queen of Swords. This Knight of Swords energy kind of feels like somebody who's not been totally honest with you, or somebody you feel like you can't really be honest with them without repercussions. That's what it feels like. In the recent past, you have what is that? These Roman numerals, the four of Pentacles in reverse. So Four of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. It's a very guarded energy. It's a very I'm going to protect myself. And I guess a little bit more than just protection. I would say the Four of Pentacles is just also, keeping yourself to yourself. And I feel like when this is reversed, you really want to come out of that. That's what I'm saying about like what the Queen of Swords being reversed. It's like, I feel, and even the Ace of Cups, even though these cards are reversed, that doesn't mean that that Ace of Cups is the potential for a new beginning. It's just, you're feeling some sort of way about that. Fear, apprehension, wanting to fill up your own cup first. And so when I look at this Four of Pentacles in your recent past, it's the card of, stability and inner strength and inner grounding. Even though it's Capricorn, it's similar to that earth energy. But sometimes when it comes out reversed, it's like, I want to drop my guard a little bit. I want to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. And so that might be what this kind of is about, is that getting out of your comfort zone, because every single card you have, except the future card, which I love, is reversed. Because I think there could be, number one, a lack of confidence, a lack of support, maybe not letting friends know where you're at emotionally, or as best as you can, or letting friends know, but there's only so much support that they can lend. That's what it feels like. So everything we have is reversed. Your current situation with the Queen of Swords in reverse, which I read as you. What is crossing or complementing her is the Ace of Cups in reverse, the potential to be inspired, the potential for new beginnings, the potential to kind of put shame, regret, fear, sadness, depression behind you, and to really start filling up your own cup. But we have to do that by dropping our guard a little bit. But I already think you might have already started that process. Headspace, again, is the Knight of Cups in reverse, which is happiness is an inside job, wanting to share your happiness with special, people that are special to you and yourself especially, but do you have enough to go around? Do you have enough to give? And it's also kind of like, I don't want to start something new until I feel like I'm in a place where I'm feeling hopeful and emotionally stable. And then again, this Knight of Swords in the foundation, it could be the energy of the situation about how anybody new coming in, maybe you feel like, I don't think you want to be open, like outwardly dishonest, but I just think guarded. I really, these swords are just making me think guarded. And you're trying not to be, you're trying to open up. So that leads me to the near future card, which I absolutely love, is the Three of Potions or the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is the card of friendship, celebration, those tight group of people that's always going to have your back. So you do have that. And I almost feel like coming out of your shell a little bit more, because all this other energy, because it's reversed and it's very guarded, or it's very self-protected, or it's very, I don't want to share that, or that's very personal, or I don't know if that's where I'm at right now. I want to be, but also, I don't know, is it safe? That's a little bit of that too. But this Three of Cups in the future is saying that the near future is about to get better. Because I feel like you're only going to be guarded for so long. That Queen of Swords wants to speak her mind eventually, right? That Ace of Cups wants to be turned right side up. That Nine of Cups in the headspace where you're feeling depleted or depressed, or, hey, what can I share with somebody, wants to come out and wants to turn around and wants to fill up for yourself and others. So this is your current situation. But again, this Three of Cups, card of celebration. I look at it as the three graces. It's faith, hope, and charity. And so it's having faith in your friends, having faith in the process. Charity is like grace, giving yourself grace, giving others grace to kind of meet you where you're at. And of course, the hope card. And the hope card is in your headspace. It's there. It's just not realized yet, or actualized, if you will. I think that you're like in this place where it almost has the feel of trying new medications to see if they're going to work, or trying a new treatment to see if it's going to work. And there's a little bit of a feeling there, whether that's true or whether that's just the analogy I'm making, is that you have, it's not that you don't want to open up too soon. It's just, I don't know. To me, there's a guardedness. Is the best way I can describe it. But the Three of Cups is saying, that's okay. It's safe. If it's not now, it soon will be. And it's a Three of Cups. It's not like, some of the higher up cups, although you do have the Nine of Cups in your headspace. But I just feel like you might almost feel like also, is happiness ever going to be mine? Is happiness always going to elude me? So there's a little bit of that also there. But I do show that in the near future, you just have celebration. You either have wonderful friends to kind of lean on, or wonderful friends that are going to help you, start feeling better. Emotionally speaking. It could be physically too, because sometimes our emotions govern our corporeal bodies as well. All right, so that's that. I'm going to turn the other half over, and this is kind of what the advice is. Now, the nice thing I'm already seeing is that there are a couple of uprights here. And this is where the majors are coming out. So I love it. And then at the end of this, I'm going to take a copy of this. I'm going to take a picture and send you a picture of the spread so you can also look. So how you feel about your current situation is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is kind of the karmic or the cosmic wheel. It's kind of like, I've learned a ton of lessons and I'm really, really ready. Like, what else is there for me to learn? Can I start making new headway, new plans, new developments without the lessons? And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is like you're in a new cycle. And we already know that because of the Ace of Cups. It's just like this new cycle could just be something that you want, but again, there could be mental health concerns. There could be depression and anxiety. When I say mental health concerns, there could be feelings of not connecting with somebody on this stronger emotional level like you want to. And so how you feel about that is the Wheel of Fortune. And again, even when we look at the Wheel of Fortune, and I always say to people, you have free will, but the Wheel of Fortune lets us know also that we are kind of beholden to fate and destiny. But I like this card. It shows that, like, if you've been in a kind of a circle or a cycle that you've felt less than confident, or you felt less than, hey, I know things are going to work out. Now this is going to become a little bit more apparent. And even though everything over here is reversed, this Wheel of Fortune is like, yeah, sometimes we have to go through this in order to get to the other side, most of the time. That's why in the tarot, like the Tower and the Death card are followed by really great cards. After the Death card comes the Temperance, which is about patience and moving forward slowly, getting your bearings. And then after the Tower is the Star, which is the card of divine intervention, hope, wish fulfillment. So sometimes after these heavy cards, we get a nice, buoyant, light card. What's the advice of Spirit or the universe? I love this. We have the Empress. So the Empress is your ruler, okay? She's the archetypal mother card, but she is also Taurus. She's Venus. She's Venus. So she rules Taurus and she rules Libra. And so when we look at the archetypal mother card, we see that the universe is saying, you are going to be headed to a time where you're going to be more abundant, more creative. And when I say unconditional love, I mean, who needs the unconditional love? Well, first, it's usually us. Sometimes it can be close familial relationships with your mother, somebody that's like a mother figure. But when we look at the Empress in the advice, she represents fertility, abundance, creativity, unconditional love, Venus energy. I love something that, therefore, I'm going to have that mindset. Even again, not that it's fake it till you make it, but sometimes the Empress, even if she's not feeling that unconditional love, she has to maybe take a deep breath and some people and situations are more challenging to love than others. And so that's kind of the lesson of the Empress. She is your ruler, who she also likes the finer things in life, but she's not afraid to work for those finer things. So again, there's, about that equal give and take, whether we're talking about romance or we're talking about money or job. But either way, the Empress in your advice from the universe is a wonderful card. I feel like she's the divine earth feminine mother archetype. She's the mother archetype to say, you've got this. And it's coming out right next to the Three of Cups. So it almost feels like you're very supported by the divine feminine or the universe, or really technically, if you are close with women in your life, it's that too. It's kind of taking that energy and really embodying that archetypal mother card. So let's see what your obstacle is. So your obstacle, is the Ace of Wands reversed. So we have these two aces. We have the Ace of Cups, which has to do with feelings like love, sadness, shame, guilt, regret. But on the upside, it's brand new love. It's filling up your cup. It's feeling whole. And then we have the Ace of Wands, which the Ace of Wands upright is Leo, Sag, Aries. It's about doing whatever it is, being inspired. It's that, we actually have technically the divine feminine, the divine masculine. We have the cup and we have the wand. And so these are two sides of the same coin, This represents emotions too, but this is more about, sometimes when it's reversed, it can be feeling angry, feeling bitter, feeling like I don't ever get second chances, or everybody seems to be way ahead of me, sort of a thing. So when we look at this crossing the Empress in reverse, it's kind of like this naysayer card, or this I don't know, this card that's self-doubt. I'm reading the Ace of Wands reversed as self-doubt. Normally this is the card of the Midas touch. This is the card of doing whatever you want and knowing you're not going to fail, but it's your obstacle and it's reversed. Sometimes the Ace of Wands in reverse, sometimes we have to let people go. Sometimes we have to burn bridges. Sometimes we have to be angry. We have to let that anger speak for us. And so the outcome of that is I love this, the Two of Wands, self-empowerment. And this is the advice from the cards. So we got the Empress, the Ace of Wands in reverse, and now we have the Two of Wands upright, which you have to take your power back. And that's what I originally said with the Queen of Swords in reverse. I mean, it feels like you are already on the upswing, on a better cycle. Either your heart and mind need time to catch up, and you have to get your head wrapped around it, or you have to, your nervous system has to catch up. There's something here where either you don't believe it, or you kind of believe it, and you just, that you have to take other steps to, so it's interesting. Hopes and fears, you have the Strength card in reverse. So again, more divine feminine. This is a weird deck, so the pictures on this deck may or may not reflect. She's actually the female magician. And the Strength card, I'm going to talk about the fear first, and then we'll talk about the hope. The fear of the Strength card reversed is that you're going to give up. You're not going to be able to keep going. You aren't going to be able to persevere. It's a card of Leo. So it's kind of like, I'm going to give up because I feel like this isn't for me. And sometimes it can be forcing your will on a situation. It can be saying, I know this isn't for me, but I'm going to keep trying until it sticks. And it's like forcing a square peg in a round hole. The Strength card reverse, though, really is a lesson in grace. And that's the fear. So if we look at the hope of this card, the hope of this card is to manifest what it is that you need at this moment. It's not like the Magician where it's as above, so below. The Strength card of the female magician is like, you want to manifest things that are for your highest good. If they are, they will come to you. You don't have to force anything. It'll naturally come to you, because the female component of the tarot is about allowance. So when we look at the cups, it's about allowing things to flow. If we look at the Queen of Swords, reversed or upright, it's about having that important dialogue before making any decisions, before taking action. And then your outcome, which I absolutely love. You have the Eight of Swords reversed. So it lets me know that you're not trapped. This is a card of freedom. But again, the Eight of Swords can be a self-sabotage card. It can be a card of feeling stuck even when you're not stuck. Feeling stuck even when, thinking there's no way out, even though there's a door in front of you. It's that kind of energy. But reversed, it's about setting those intentions. It's manifestation. So you have, manifestation, the two aces you have are both manifestation cards. Manifestation through filling up your own cup, manifestation through love and feelings and intuition and, using, sometimes spell work, to be honest. And then the same with the Ace of Wands, to be honest. The Ace of Wands is manifestation through fire. It could be candle magic. It could be just doing, feeling and doing. I feel something and I feel it's right, so I'm going to do it. But they're both reversed, because maybe you're not following your gut and your intuition. And then therefore, if you don't question it, then you're kind of stuck. You don't do anything. You don't move forward. And so that leads us to the potential for self-sabotage with the Eight of Swords. But when I see her, I also see that, if you see her, she's mending herself. She knows that she can be free. She knows that sometimes her words or emotions or other people's, what they project onto to you, or her in this scenario, knows that that's not always the case. Knows that that's not truth. But it feels like it if you hear it long enough and you see it long enough and you feel it long enough. So, little bit of an intense reading for sure. Little bit of an intense reading, so I apologize for that. I just feel like you are emotionally, going through it, have been going through it for a time, and really coming out the other side feeling a little lost, a little depleted. I feel like the universe is trying to say, this, you got the Wheel of Fortune, the Empress is right above you, which is your ruler. Put love and compassion and kindness into yourself, and these aces are going to turn into new opportunities, whether that's new love, new passions, just things sparking and moving forward for you. But this is really about self-empowerment in a lot of ways, and I don't want to say telling yourself the right thing, but yeah. So I'm going to take a picture, or I'm at least going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the camera over it so you can kind of see where we're at with this. So we start here with your current situation. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. What's crossing you? We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. What's in your headspace? We have the Nine of Cups in reverse. You know what? We'll go over that. So current situation, Queen of Swords, is how I identify you here. Speaking your truth, setting boundaries, but also, experiencing a point where, it's imperative that you speak up, or it's imperative that you, it could even be advocating for somebody else with this Ace of Cups in reverse, which is what's crossing you. And the Ace of Cups in reverse is a potential brand new beginning. And it could be a potential romantic new beginning, but I feel like this Queen of Swords is a little guarded. So this is the recent past. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which can be kind of, hey, I'm ready to drop my guard. I still want to remain grounded and safe, but I'm going to drop my guard. Near future, we have the beautiful Three of Cups, which is the card of celebration, family, friends, any kind of like emotional support. In the foundation, you have the Knight of Swords in reverse. I almost read him as a little bit different energy, like very mischievous. And maybe that's a little bit more of the message too. It's, just incorporating a little bit more fun. But I think you're coming out of something. So it's like sometimes it's hard to feel that way. We go to the Wheel of Fortune, how you feel about something, like, oh my gosh, I've been through so many lessons, this has to count for something. But also maybe feeling that you are at the beginning of a new cycle. You have two aces that are telling me that if you just believe and put yourself in a place where, again, you fill up your own cup, you believe, you use your intuition, go with your gut. And then with the Ace of Wands is like, and then you just do the thing. You just do it. Take that leap of faith. Self-empowerment. The Empress is here, and the advice of the universe is saying you are going to head into a time where you are going to be feeling more creative. And, your obstacle is your motivation. Your obstacle is your motivation, potentially your dedication. Things might fizzle out. You don't want that to happen. Self-empowerment. Again, this is the advice from the cards. Then we go to hopes and fears. We have the Strength in reverse. And again, Strength in reverse shows the fear of failure, but it also shows about perseverance and courage and bravery, and we do the thing anyway. And then your outcome is the Eight of Swords. And so the Eight of Swords is like, beware of self-sabotage, know that you are not trapped. So anyways, that is your reading. I'm going to upload this to you shortly, and let me know what you think. And if you need any clarification, you can always reach out to me. Thank you so much. And also, I appreciate your patience.